Scariest flight I've ever been on. Crazy. And I had the co-pilot on my shuttle going back to the main airport with me. I didn't even realize how close we were to getting rerouted. What's up, guys? It's Greeny. I'm back in Michigan. In 2 days, I'm heading back to Thailand, and I cannot wait. I think this was a huge mistake that I came to America, and I'm going to tell you why. But I had to come. I kind of had to come. I came for 3 weeks. I should have only booked it for 2 weeks. That's really all I needed. It's overkill. You can see right now, I'm dressed like it's winter. It's only, September 7th, and it was 80 the other day. Now it's 52. Freezing my ass off. And let me tell you why it was a huge mistake for me to leave Thailand and come here. Two reasons, biggest reasons I came is I had a new grandbaby. I think he's too little for me to be, and I haven't really even been able to spend too much time with him because I've been sick. And I'm going to tell you about all these issues I've had since I've been here. Also, I came back from my high school reunion, which it was a 40-year high school reunion, and maybe only 25% of my class showed up. Everybody that was there, most of the people, are on Facebook, regular participants in groups and talks, and I chat with a little bit. And so it wasn't like I saw any of the people that I haven't seen in super long times. So I stayed there maybe about 2 hours and then I was out. So, it's a long way to come to visit for 2 hours. I don't think I'll do that again if I'm out of the country. So I got home and immediately I had to do a lot of work around my house. And my son's living there. He's done some things, but I really had to do a lot of landscaping, cleaning gutters, doing things like that. And I got poison ivy. And I got to tell you guys something. Poison ivy, not what I thought. I'm thinking like, okay, you just let it go away and it goes away. But no, it blotched up one area. Then I get it in another area. Then another area. So I flew down to Tampa to help my kid move to Virginia, my other kid. And on the flight going down from Detroit to Tampa, I think I got sick. So next thing you know, I'm in Virginia with my son. I start getting a sore throat. I'm getting sick. I get a bad cold. Poison ivy starts popping out. So I got a double whammy. I'm sick. I got poison ivy. My son catches the cold that I have. We're both sick. Luckily we found him an apartment. But I was down there for about 5-6 days. And from Virginia, I flew to Nashville, Tennessee to meet some of my friends there. And I got to tell you, I'll get back to my flight going there. Worst flight of my life. Scared the shit out of me. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It was friggin' crazy. Never been on a flight like this before. And it was a short flight, like an hour and 40 minutes. So hook up with my friends in Nashville. We just go out, get something to eat, have a beer, walk around, check out the town. I got a little bit of video on that. I'll post that later. Maybe I'll walk around through Broadway Street in Nashville. My son works with my friend that was with me. Then my friend gets very fatigued. He was at a racetrack for 3 days. He was around me. I don't know if I had COVID, but I don't think I did. I just, it seemed like a common cold to me, but he got run down and fatigued and a bad headache. Turns out he had COVID. My son's taking off work. He's staying home. He kicks me out of the house because he wants to be segregated from his baby in the house. And so now I'm staying over here at Charles's house, freezing my ass off. And it's just been crazy. So the other day I'm in Rural King buying some of the spray to spray on the poison ivy. So I'm talking to the lady in Rural King and she's like, yeah, I had poison ivy. She goes, you got to go to the doctor. She goes, it sprouts up all over. Like you got to get on prednisone. You got to get on a steroid. And I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, it doesn't go away on its own. It's not that easy. I make a doctor's appointment. I go in and I talk to the nurse practitioner and she's like, yeah, it'll spread. It just gets in your blood and it'll blotch out in other places. I didn't know that. I thought like the sap or the oil from it, you can spread it. But, I've taken 20 showers since then. And she's like, no, it gets in your blood. It keeps popping out. And let me tell you, they gave me the medication for that. And bam, within 3 days, like I'm not itching anymore and everything's kind of healing. And if you ever get poison ivy, make sure you go and get on that steroid because it does not go away by itself. I did not know it gets in your blood and keeps blotching out. So that's an important thing. What other regrets? What other problems do I have with America since I've been here? Well, the biggest thing is the money grab. Since myself and my son, we were all exposed to this guy with COVID, I go to the drugstore to buy a COVID test. $11 a test. In Thailand, they're 60 baht. Why does it have to be so much money here? It's a money grab. It's a total scam. And some of the costs of things, like I've been spending just ridiculous amounts on food that just shouldn't even be that expensive. A bag of Cheez-Its, look at this. A little bag of Cheez-Its now, $6 and something. That used to be $2, $1.99. I mean, it's just, I'm dumbfounded. It's just, it makes me, after being in Thailand for 4 years and just seeing this, it just makes me feel like I'm being ripped off. It really does. I mean, just everything's jacked up. The best meal I had, value-wise, I went to a Chinese restaurant, and for $10, it was a huge amount of food. I couldn't even eat half of it, but I still felt like shit after, like, the oil, everything. A lot of the meals I've been eating here, just my stomach doesn't feel that great after. And for the last week, I've been back to kind of eating salads and eating lighter. But, there were a few things I had to have, that were on my list that, a little square pizza, different little things that I had to have because I haven't had in so long. I really haven't been at a place, though, that I could cook for myself or anything. I've had to eat out because I've been running around and bouncing from here to there and in hotels, and it's just not good. I got into such a routine in Thailand. My blood pressure was so low. I was in a workout routine. I was eating healthy. I mean, everything's so good. Then you just come back here and everything is just such a distraction. You can't stay on point like you are when you're there. It's just unbelievable how attached and how you get set in certain ways when you move out like that. And even though this is my home, I just feel like lost here. Like I got a lot of things I need to get done, and for the last week, it's like I just been, just waiting to go back. It's like, I wanted to book a one-way ticket so I could just decide when I want to go back, but it was so much more expensive. The one-way tickets were as much or more than the round-trip ticket. I mean, it's just crazy how they gouge you like that. Like they force you into doing things a certain way. So, of course, since I've been home, I've been watching a little bit of sports. I'm hanging out with my buddy Charles at his house, and, we watched the baseball game last night. We watched a little basketball. Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, she's amazing. But just bombarded with the political ads, bombarded with the ambulance chasing attorneys. I cannot stand seeing these. Driving around here, the billboards everywhere with these attorneys. I mean, just go away, you friggin' ambulance chasers. They annoy me so much. I don't know why. Maybe because when I was a policeman, I had many subpoenas. I had to go testify in like different hearings or depositions where I know the person wasn't even hurt, but then they get an attorney after and just, neck break, just such BS. Because I've seen people after accidents and, I mean, some people do get seriously injured and there are, reasons they have attorneys, but a lot of times it's like they just pander. This one guy's doing this huge contest to get all this information from people, get their emails, get everything, so he can just pander. It's just so annoying. So let me tell you about this scary ass flight I was on. If this tells you anything, I don't know if you can hear it. I had a little video, I was videotaping myself just in case something happened, but you can hear the girl next to me. She was crying and praying. It was friggin' wild. Check this out. Right where the airport is, isn't that pretty wild? And to begin the flight, like this flight was worse than my first flight. The first flight going down to Tampa, I didn't hear anybody sick, but this flight, people were hacking and coughing.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure.
If I wasn't sick already, I for sure would have got sick on that flight. We're flying and we're coming down into Nashville, and next thing you know, it gets pitch black. So we're obviously in a storm, and you can see the rain on the windows and everything. And we're coming down, come out of the clouds, and we're on top of the runway. Like it's the plane took, bam, right back off in the air. Like he overshot the runway or something happened. And then they announced, the wind shears are crazier than we've seen, and we're going to have to come back in for another landing. And the next time we come in, literally, we're in the clouds again, and the plane literally dropped like hundreds of feet and then went back up. And I mean, I've never been on a flight. People are praying. People are crying. It was scary. Like I've never been scared on a flight like that before, but this is the worriedest I've ever been on an airplane. I mean, I'm looking out, it's just getting pitch black when we're going to the sun. I'm thinking, why don't they just reroute? Like, get the hell out of here. This is friggin' crazy. And finally, we come back through again and come down and everything's shaky. But when we got to the ground, it was the smoothest landing I've ever been on. Like, I didn't even feel that we had hit the ground and landed. It was so smooth. So that was great. That was the scariest flight of my life. What was wild is, as I'm leaving, I got on the shuttle that takes you to the other terminal, and there's a guy in uniform in there, and I'm like, I see Allegiant. That's the flight I was on. I'm like, were you on my flight? He's like, yeah, that was wild. So it was the co-captain. He's like, yeah, we came in 3 times. I thought it was only 2 times that we landed the second time, but no, it was the 3rd try. He told me if they couldn't land that 3rd try, they were going to get out of there and reroute and go to Cincinnati. He told me that one of the times, because I did feel like a liftoff, he said it wasn't a liftoff in the clouds. He said they were coming down and the wind blew them up 800 feet in the air on our second attempt to land. I didn't even realize how freaking crazy it was, but he was like, no, this is what we trained for. I mean, we do this, but he told me it was the worst like wind shears that he had felt since he'd been doing this. So that's pretty concerning. He said that it was like an east-west storm, and if they would have came out of it and went to Cincinnati, they would have been out of the storm because that was more north. And I kind of wish they would have rather done that. I could have just got home from Cincinnati and skipped to see my friends in Nashville. That wasn't even, we just hung out for a little bit. We didn't do too much. I'm going to get back to Thailand and just chill, and I'm really going to have to give it some thought how much more time I'll spend when I come back to America. I think I got to, every time it was 6 weeks, then 5 weeks, then last time 3 weeks, this time 3 weeks. I don't know if I can do more than 10 days or 2 weeks. I just don't know. And I got some big decisions to make. I mean, eventually my kid's going to probably get a different type of job somewhere and move out of my house where he's living in. I'm going to have to decide, do I want to sell it, rent it to somebody else, hire a property agency? I'm going to make a whole nother video about, do I cut ties with America, and is it smart to go to another country and really set up shop there like 100%? Because I mean, right now I live there, but I can easily live here. You know what I mean? I could just leave in one day and just go. But do I want to commit 100%? So that'll be an upcoming video. If you're interested in this type of content, please subscribe. And that's it. That's it for this trip. I'm ready to get back to Thailand. Hopefully it's a smooth flight. This was friggin', these last 2 flights, one I thought was smooth, but I got sick. The other one, everybody was sick. I was very concerned about the landing, very concerned. And God, I want to get back to Thailand, but I'm kind of worried about flying again, especially that long after that last flight. All right, guys, Greeny out.